back, showed great resilience versus Na'Vi and closed that out without too much of an issue. TSM, on the other hand, struggled mightily versus VP in what we thought initially would be a 2-0 with the way they were playing around Inferno, but that just didn't come to play.
Well, it looks like we're live with the pistol here in the first map of this best of 3. It's going to be on Inferno with TSM starting off on the CT side, Titan starting on the T side, and Titan looking for a brawl here. Not much money spent on gear. It's straight Kevlar across the board for these guys, so they're just going to be looking to gather up and go for the run and gun. Question is now whether TSM are going to be able to land the headshots that are necessary to stop this kind of strategy. It's all about just landing the shots and stopping Titan cold.
Yeah, okay, what's interesting for TSM right now is that they're doing pretty much what we see them normally do on Inferno, which is the aggressive banana hold. The thing is, they don't have any nades. So this is a big gamble for TSM. If they don't land their shots, if they get picked off, then Titan have every opportunity in the world to just bomb rush that B bomb site and close TSM out.
And now we actually see the fallback.
Yeah, exactly. Now Sipnix is left alone, similar to what VP does with Neo. And, well, it's going to be timely because here comes Titan.
And there's now going to be 2 guys holding Arch, one of them rotating through Library, but there you go. Dupree, insta-give there from Apex, just takes his head clean off. But KGB does manage to take a kill as well. Device from Library, just looking to catch them off guard, and he's not able to connect with the headshot, but he is doing the damage, and he's putting the mental pressure. Apex gets his second frag, looks for a third, and he gets it as well. And Apex has single-handedly taken control of this round. Kenny is going to find the last one, but that's 3 key kills right there going Apex's way.
Yeah, absolutely. Apex stopping that rotation coming in from Arch Connector, absolutely massive. And the fact that he's able to pick up the second guy coming in from TSM in Library just opens everything up, and you see Existence getting one frag there on the site as well.
And I think this tells you everything that you need to know right here.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this buy coming out from Titan. Apex and Kenny, they have no shame. It's like they could go up to SMGs, they could go to Galil's. Nah, they'll just go like Tech 9, full nades, armor. There you go. That's all they need to take this fight.
Yeah, and I actually like the fact that they've picked up Molotovs because they don't want to bomb rush into any of the sites. They don't want to blindly run into a stack or potential stack from TSM. So having the Molotovs is going to allow them to, you know, surely and slowly get in towards the A bomb site, and you can see them. They're just using every nade they have to clear it out. Dupree does actually pick up RPK though.
Yeah, and that's a big kill actually. That's going to drop a gun. There's a headshot onto Apex as well. Cajun B goes hunting, and he's going to pick up that kill. Existence will find him, however, so it's back into a 3-on-4, but this is a man advantage for TSM, and they still have an intact defense on this A site. Crossfire here looking into apartments, and Existence is going to get headshot by Device.
A Maniac though, coming around through Arch. He's going to pick up 1 frag, actually 2. It's a good job from Maniac.
Look at how low they both are right now. Kenny and Existence making use of the gear. Kenny's now got a Galil to work with. Device may get forced out into the open here. He's waiting to see if Kenny's going to present himself, and there you go. Gives away his position, takes that shot, and Kenny just goes for the straight-up wallbang. He knows exactly where Device is. Sipnix, luckily, is there to patch things up and once again put the pressure on Titan, but Existence is, he only has 12 HP. Sipnix has got a 5-7. He has everything he needs to win this round. Now it's all down to the mind games and whether Existence gets the proper read, figures out where Sipnix is coming from. This is all the sneak, though. He doesn't know where he is, though. This is the problem. Sipnix is going to have to get lucky and catch him out in the open. Existence. The swap to the Galil costs it. He had no idea how low Existence is. The fact that he goes for the Galil and just steps into a bullet.
I mean, it's definitely a tough situation for both players, really. And Sipnix not really having the idea of how low Existence were, and I think that simply the reason because of that is because so many Titan players were actually in apartments early on, and everybody got tagged up on it at a different time. So they'd actually no idea of knowing who they actually tagged. That really became the saving factor for Existence, the fact that Sipnix had no idea.
That split second.
Yeah, exactly. And good job from Existence, obviously, landing the shots when he needs to. And I guess now, you know, looking back at it, you could say that Sipnix should have perhaps brought up with the head Kevlar once they invest into the 5-7 because he gets insta-dinked instead of surviving that one hit from the Galil.
Oh, speaking of insta-dink, Dupree made that look clean. Now he's going to be looking to get a flank in the mid as well. Oh, no, again with the swaps, but this time he drops a bomb carrier. He will get flanked by Existence, who was lurking in apartments. But again, man advantage now for TSM. Granted, they have pistols, but Titan have now been put on notice, and they're going to have to play a little bit careful. Maniac is going to start clearing out Banana, however. He is the usual lurker for Titan, so the remaining members for Titan heading over to that A site, whereas Maniac is going to start peeking around here, seeing if he can't pick somebody off.
Yeah, and what Maniac just did now is going to force well, a bit of a half a rotation from Device here. He's going to take up a more passive position in the connector area, and that's pretty all you can wish for, really, if you're Titan at this point.
Well, there's a smoke, and there's the flash to lead around that corner. Kenny just looking to apply the pressure here. The man in pit has been smoked off as well. This is going to be down to Kerrigan. He's got that USPS, and he gets the perfect opportunity. Drop some cold before they can get onto the site, and he even goes in for more. Kerrigan will pick up the next one, and that is a big bounce back there for Kerrigan because he did struggle in the last match versus VP before the break. So for him to be able to start off strong and get a couple of kills on the board here, he's sitting on 2. That's going to give him some confidence going into the rest of this map.
Oh, definitely. I think on Overpass he actually ended up with something like 6 or 7
yeah.
frags. And that's with the overtime. So, well, I mean, he definitely didn't have a good showing. But he knows he could do better. He'd probably shrug that off, and he's obviously elated with the fact that his team won. But as for Titan, that cannot feel good. And that was something actually Apex was talking about, that they are so poor with actually playing versus those pistols. They really struggle with it.
Well, it's like these have been some very expensive rounds as well. Second round, they nearly lost. They lost everybody apart from Existence. Third round, obviously, they lost that one. So now we have a 4-spy coming out from Titan. A single Galil and Maniac getting picked up. Sipnik's peeking out into top banana. He's going to be able to pick up that kill. This is going to force a nade out of Kerrigan, however. So they do manage to stop the Titan push for now. Titan had gathered up in banana, but it seems like now they're content to wait. And this is the right call to make. No reason to go YOLOing through that smoke, to take the risk of running into the Galils, into the meat grinder. Instead, they can fall back and start looking for a different way onto a site.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if you saw that Molotov from Existence being used for the cornering arch.
Ouch.
Just to clear that out and try to get closer to the side from that point on.
Well, that's a very painful nade right there. Device just laying into him. But they have got control of mid now, Titan, and they are setting up for the arch push. The arch push, rather. Device is going to peek out, spots them going into arch with the bomb. He drops that bomb carrier, but goes one step too far and gets his face taken off by RPK. Dupree and Pitt, however, catches that shoulder peek, and he's looking to land it, but Cajun B is going to be there to help, and Cajun B collects both frags. RPK now the last man alive here, and he's sticking with the Tech 9. He's got a Galil, but who needs a rifle when you've got this beast in your hands? He's going to be able to just run and gun all over the place. 10 seconds left. He's going to be able to pick up one. Yes, he does. Gets that parting shot onto Cajun before Cajun can duck out of harm's way. And Titan, they still managed to get some kills on the board here, even if that was just a 4-spy round.
Yeah, that was a 4-spy, but they with the 4-spy like that, you either want to do significant harm to the economy of TSM or you want to get a bomb down. They didn't get really any of that accomplished. So not really a successful 4-spy coming out from Titan, at least in my opinion. But it's not going to be that big of an issue because it's still very early on.
They're going for a very aggressive take on mid right now. This is a power play coming out from TSM. Look at the positioning here from Device, lurking by bench and mid, but they push 3 guys into mid initially. Then they peek out into banana. They get the information there, spot that Titan have gathered up, and there you go. Device just shredding him, takes 2 kills, could go for more as well, but he gets overwhelmed. Kenny and RPK peek together and take him out, but Cajun B is like, you guys aren't getting out of there. Goes for the smoke and just goes for the mow down, and he's only going to get 1. Instead, it's going to be Dupree here to pick things up. Peeking out, looking for that headshot. This was a little bit, I think this was a little overconfident here on TSM's part, taking these fights like this. You know, 1v3, 1v4, the pistols hurt in CSGO. You will get overwhelmed if they just come running at you.
Yeah, I definitely think TSM should have been able to pick up more frags, though, in that situation. Device potentially should have said, you know, this is fine, I've picked up 2 frags, I can bail now. And Cajun could have been the guy to take over, really. Now you actually give Titan a chance of doing more damage here with the weapons, but Dupree's going to put an end to that.
Very nicely done there. Good control by Dupree. But I think you're right. There was, I mean, these are in the heat of the moment, right? And it's also, this is also like a dominance play. When you go for this kind of play, this is almost like VP style, right? Pushing out CT side when the opponent is ecoing. You know there's a risk involved because you could be giving them rifles, but you're just there to stomp them into the ground and make sure it's that much more difficult for them to get up on their feet when they have rifles in their hand.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because you want to put it into their head that we could potentially do this at any given time.
Exactly. What's very interesting here, I mean, well, this is going to be that big buy round coming out from Titan now in the 6th round. They've got the AWP for Kenny. It's a glass cannon one, however, so he's going to have to be a little bit careful. But Kerrigan, man, he is just taking this fight straight up. Gets peeked out by Existence, though. Overstays his welcome. But there were 3 members there for TSM at the top of banana, and Dupree is in there to save the day and turn things back TSM's way.
Yeah, and this is something we saw TSM do on Inferno last time they played it. They'd like to change it up. They switch around things they do on the CT side, especially Cajun, who continuously alters between going aggressive in apps and playing passively. And that's going to be a big challenge for Titan to actually figure out what's going on the TCM CT side and how willing they are to actually commit heavily.
Oh, this mad fight. Cajun, that was a little sloppy there.
But yeah, how willing they are to actually commit to towards the bomb site before you know, deciding on what to do. As of right now, this is the problem. The problem for Kenny right now is the fact that, well, he's got a glass cannon up, so there's not really that much he can do in terms of winning the actual round. But there's so much time left, and you could already see TSM, they're very aware of what's going on, so there's actually no realistic hope of Kenny S being able to save this weapon.
Well, he managed to pick up one, but there you go. Device, once again at the bottom of mid, will catch him trying to make his way out of banana, and even trades up for that AWP, so some good money saved there for TSM as well. He's going to be very pleased with that pickup. In the meantime, on Titan's side, after that buy round, sure enough, they're back to pistols, but they aren't overcommitting to that. They aren't going for some crazy force. They're just evening out their money right now, picking up some Tech 9s, getting a couple nades, Kevlar and Maniac. And they're going to be able to actually apply some pressure here. So TSM, they have to be a little bit on their guard. The Device going for the peek into mid, not going to catch anybody out. Steady might sense that they're starting to push up second mid, so he has to be a little bit careful. Decides to give ground, back up a little bit. Nice nade there onto Sipnix to ring his bells and drop him back to that site. It's all about softening them up before they can bring the Tech 9s to bear.
Absolutely, and right now we're seeing more of a defensive setup. With Device having that AWP, he can pretty much cover the entirety of mid by himself for TSM, so you see both Cajun and Debris playing fairly passively back in pit. Well, Cajun really on the balcony there. This is what we're gonna see out of TSM, and this is what Titan needs to figure out. When a TSM playing passively, when are they playing aggressively, and they have to be so careful not to run into a gauntlet where Cajun is just going to mow down everyone in his way.
That is something to note as well. It's been for the longest time that way. Titan, they do like to set things up before they make their play. They do like to take their time, clear out the map, get control. And so it's good that TSM are keeping them guessing because it'll make it that much more difficult for Titan to get into their comfort zone. But there we go. RPK runs in with the Tech 9. He even catches him reloading, and they just manage to drop in and quickly overwhelm the pit defense. Two guys in pit cleared up for TSM, and now the last man alive here is Device, but he's in library, and he's not... Oh, he does get the wallbang on the Maniac eventually, but not in time to deny that plant. So now the question is whether TSM can actually get in and retake this bomb site, or whether they decide this is too costly an endeavor, and they do actually decide to back off.
Power of the Tech 9, man. That was a Tech 9 buy without armor. That's how crazy that was. All they had was 2 smokes and a couple of flashes. And what's kind of funny, we were talking to Apex about this because we were watching TSM play Inferno, obviously, and he was saying, well, we know exactly what TSM does. We feel really confident playing against them because we know everything they do on their T side. Funnily enough, the strategy that Titan just pulled off, that is pretty much a TSM strategy that he actually called out. Like, when I see this smoke go down, I know that's going to be 3 people on apps. They're going to do this kind of flash, this kind of flash. So, in a sense, TSM should also recognize what's about to happen, but they still get caught off guard.
Yeah, but right now it is going to be just a buy coming in here from TSM. No problem at all for them to reload their money, and or rather, to reload their gear because they have plenty of money, whereas Titan are going to be able to get a healthy buy-in on their side, having saved a couple of rifles. But there it is already. Apex able to pick up the first frag to open things up on this B site. We'll see if they continue to push, but it seems like Titan, they don't want to press their luck. They're willing to hang back. They leave the lurker behind. They let that man work to the top of banana with a little help from RPK. But the rest of the team are going to go and try to develop mid a little bit and get that map control that we mentioned earlier. They want to make sure that they have space to move around on this map to set up and decide if they want to go A, B site. They need to know that they have control. Yeah,
and what might catch them off guard here is the fact that Device is playing so aggressively in apps right now. Cajun is right around the corner, so there's a potential to get a trade there if things doesn't go the way of quite the way Device wants it to.
Well, there you go. Actually, 2 entry frags going Existence's way, or rather Titan's way. But that is just going to open things up now. It starts to spin out of control as Kenny S is going to be able to pick off Dupree. And it's only Cajun B now alive on this A site. With 30 seconds left, Titan, they don't have much time to move, but Cajun is going to be able to do a little bit of damage initially here. He gets pinned down, however, they know where he is, but he's still doing the damage. He still manages to pick up Maniac, but that's not going to be enough. 1v4 situation here for Kerrigan, and the best call for him is to stay on this B site and hold on to his weapon.
Yeah, and, well, given the money situation for Titan, it's not very likely that they're actually going to go after him as well. So this is a bit of an issue for TSM, but obviously Kerrigan will most likely be able to hold on to that Colt, and well, in the next round they might actually decide to force buy. In the end, a pretty easy round for Titan. Obviously, those 2 entry frags do a lot for you. I think Device pretty much has to pick up 1 frag there in the apartments for for TSM to hold a chance, because at that point, there's so much room for Titan, and the rotation times for TSM is going to be so slow compared to everything that Titan potentially could throw out towards that bomb site. And now, Titan already with 4 rounds.
Yeah, and this is big right off the bat. You know, we're already talking about how we feel like TSM might have the advantage in this. I mean, they've just come out of a very tight situation, of course, you know, having beaten VP in the match before. Yeah. So they're going to come into this warmed up. But Titan, clearly, you know, it's just taken them a couple of rounds, and they're already managing to do the damage here to TSM and get the rounds that they need on this T side. A couple more rounds, and they're going to consider this a fantastic first half. But there we go. The B control banana push coming out here from TSM. They just get control of banana, smoke it off, and pick somebody off there. Kenny is now out of the picture, and that's actually a pretty big weapon that Titan have just lost.
It's a massive pick for TSM, and it's quite surprisingly actually that we see Titan get caught off, because this is nothing new from TSM. This is something we've seen time and time again. Not necessarily just at this tournament, but you know, for several months now from TSM. But Titan continues to push on. They definitely want to get some mid control in. We can see Apex battling it out versus Dupree. And from the looks of it, this is going to be an arch push coming out from Titan, but it might be actually held back here for a while, with Device putting down that smoking arch.
50 seconds right there. Making a bit of a difference. 40 seconds now left for Titan to make the call. Flash into apartments is going to slow Apex down. He did not spot the man in Graveyard there, but that man is holding a flash as well. So if Apex catches him out, it's going to be a pretty swift end for him. Titan gathered up, and 30 seconds now left to make this play. The smoke goes down to block off the Device, but Cajun B is going to be able to pick off Apex from apartments, and now it's just the knife fight in the smoke over by Library. Maniac still lurking around there, whereas RPK trying to push up short with the bomb. He's going to be able to pick up one, but Cajun takes out his flank, and there's Cajun locking down the A site. Pulls a 180 and takes out RPK as well.
And for TSM, it's really important that Cajun actually finds his rhythm, because he was one of the best players for TSM on the Inferno last time around. So already on 10 frags for Cajun, he's doing really well for himself and came through in the clutch there.
Now we begin the 10th round here. And once again, TSM, what worked, right? They go for the B control again, and Sipnix with the spray through the smoke actually picks off Apex. Bit of a stroke of luck, lots of hours experience, but Sipnix makes it work and gives his team another advantage going into this, and then it just turns into the slaughter, all out. Titan, they're trying to catch TSM off guard. They're trying to push through the smoke, and they've literally gifted them the bomb and another 3 kills.
And again, the same question comes into mind. Why would you do that? Obviously, if you're Titan, you should know TSM are going to take aggressive control. And if you don't get past that point where the smoke lands before they actually land, then you're better off just leaving it be for the time being and letting them use their smokes, letting all of that run out, really. Even though it's going to cost you time, it's well worth it, because what we saw now, 2 times in a row, TSM picks up an empty frag without even seeing a single member, because they're going to spam through that smoke 100% of the time. It doesn't really matter. Still, Titan decides to take that challenge, and it's so much easier to find the angle if you're on the CT side than the T side.
What I'm wondering right now, or at least what my theory is that it's the battle for control basically right now. Oh, yeah. Titan have already got 4 rounds on the map. I feel like they feel right now that they can actually take a couple of risks and see if they can't catch TSM off guard. If TSM got greedy and say only left Sipmix behind, right, and the other 2 members had rotated towards A, maybe Titan gets a lucky break there and they can overwhelm Sipmix and get access to the B site, right? So there's a lot of risk taking, but TSM need to be pressuring Titan early, doing these kinds of aggressive pushes, because they need to offset, they need to put Titan off balance, whereas Titan are just looking to see if they can't catch a lucky break and catch out TSM. The Tech 9 push is not going to work for Apex towards B site. He gets slapped down immediately, and you have 4 players left here with P250s for Titan.
P250 no armor, so not the exact power that you have with that Tech 9 push they actually won. Right now, Titan just taking their time. And normally this is the kind of round that existence. If he feels that anything's wrong, he'll just sit calmly, just sit AFK really, and just talk things over with his team, try to figure out what they're going to do for the next buy. And as Kenny actually picks up frag onto Dupree.
They just continue to push here. Device with that AK, putting it to good use. Managed to pick up another kill. Existence is going to get the drop on him, however, as he turns around. And now we see Cajun B taking a battle with Maniac, who's actually stuck up in apartments. There's a second kill coming in for Existence. He catches out Sipnix, but he is now alone. He's got 2 kills to his name. He's in a 1v2, but he doesn't have the bomb. The bomb is in mid, and he's just looking to pressure right now. He's going to run into Cajun B, and he's not going to get it done. Cajun, with the sidestep, manages to dodge the spray. And he locks down another frag here for TSM.
Yeah, it's still the right idea from Existence, really, because in that situation, you either have to die to actually get some money for the next round, or you actually have to try to get as many kills as possible. There's no third option, because he wouldn't have the time to actually pick up the bomb in that situation. TSM get to 7 rounds, and well, it's starting to shape up like a pretty good CT half for them if they can continue this trend.
Well, again, TSM with the fast control. No smoke at the bottom of mid this time, however. Or at the bottom of banana, rather, because they have Kerrigan camping there with the AWP. Maniac, however, is going to catch Device on an aggressive push of his own. And there's the opening frag. The entry goes Titan's way for the first time in several rounds.
Yeah, and remember how good they were at actually utilizing the fact that they got entry frags versus Na'Vi, especially on Cash. Whenever they were getting an entry frag, it was literally just a round for Titan. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not they're able to capitalize the same way on this map.
Well, Kenny, I mean, the thing is that TSM are now feeling a little bit pressured. They have to start pushing around to see if they can't get some information as to where Titan are setting up. But right now, it's looking like Titan, they want to go through the motions. They have control of mid, flash to take over mid, and they're going to start just pushing up towards that arch position, that short position. Good anti-flash there, just completely stops that push cold. And with 40 seconds left now, Titan seem like they want to rotate back towards B. Maniac is holding there, and that smoke has just cleared up. So they might be able to get in here fast if they can quickly overwhelm Kerrigan. And Kerrigan just falling back as best he can. He has that AWP. He doesn't spot the man going into CT, however, and that can catch his teammate off guard. Sipnix gets overwhelmed by Maniac, who just manages to rush in, and now it's down to Kerrigan, alone against the world. Picks off Apex, but Kenny is waiting for the repeak and takes him out in turn. Near perfect round here for Titan. They lose one, they lose Apex, but it's not the end of the world for them.
No, it's not at all, and you can see that the second Kerrigan goes down, the rotation coming in from Dupree just immediately stops. Does a 180 and, well, calls it a day, really. Titan picking up their 5th round. They have to be pretty happy about how this is going, actually, as well, because, well, it was looking for a while that the TSM were getting an okay grip over what was going on in the game and picking up quite a few CT rounds in a row. Well, back strikes Titan with a very convincing round.
Yeah, very solid work, no doubt about it. And Titan, I think that at this point now they can start feeling comfortable. Like 4 rounds was kind of pushing it. 5 rounds, I think they're going to start feeling pretty good. If they can get up to 6 rounds, they're going to be feeling ecstatic going into the CT side, because this is not a team to squander a lead. Well, before I say that,
yeah,
this is still, both of these teams actually have a bit of a history of doing just that. So not going to get ahead of ourselves here. We have to see what they can do throughout the rest of the second half, for example. But as far as this half is concerned, it is now everything here for TSM. I think they invested everything that they had pretty much into this round. Not many nades, as you can see on Dupree, who's skimping. The rest of them, however, have put together a reasonable buy. But quite a bit of their gear has been used already at the beginning of this round. Now the question comes, exactly, as I was about to ask it, basically, Kenny delivers. He catches a man peeking, and that's a big opening now. And he's still looking for more, but Device takes out RPK, who was lurking on short, so they bring it right back into a 4-on-4 here, TSM. Titan still gathered up in apartments, looking towards short to see if they can't pick somebody up from pit, and there you go. Apex delivers, does his job, gets a kill, and now they're going to be able to overwhelm Device as well, who was flashed blind. Kerrigan rotating in, gets picked off by Maniac, and it just completely falls apart for TSM. Titan forced their way onto that site.
Yeah, just pure force coming in from the French team right there, and TSM losing those early picks, especially Kenny picking up that first frag from Maps, really messes up everything that TSM has planned. All of the crossfires just immediately fall apart. And this time around, they do actually have the money to go hunting for Sipnix.
Yeah, they're not going to let up. They know how valuable these rifles are right now for TSM. Even one rifle can make the difference if it's in the right hands, in the right position. And Sipnix, he's getting closed in on. Look at this. They're like just closing in like sharks. They're going to come rushing right through, and Sipnix gets overwhelmed. Doesn't even take one of the members of Titan with him. And there we have it. Titan are now on 6 rounds, and the money is not looking good for TSM. They're going to force up here, but it's like 5 sevens across the board, some armor to go with it, a FAMAS, but then that means Kerrigan has to skimp on the helmet. This is an act of desperation from TSM. If they lose this round, they're not going to have anything left going into the next one.
Yeah, this is a very scary situation for them. No doubt. And you can actually see, again, TSM continuing with the pressure on Banana. And Titan's still opting to actually challenge that. They might feel more comfortable knowing that there's 5 sevens that they're going up against, hearing that instead of a Colt. But still, that's a bit of a risky move. And I think that actually was a failed Molotov from Titan there. They definitely wanted to burn out the bedroom where Cajun is currently at. So they're actually not going to know that Cajun is still in there.
Already, that's a pretty big kill there. Device not managing to pick that up. Apex with the double entry in apartments, single-handedly clearing that out. RPK now going to peek from Boiler, and is he going to win the duel? No, he will not. Dupree takes his head off, but then Apex again there to save the day. Cleans things up, and that's a very tidy A-take coming in. Although Existence and Maniac still hanging around at the bottom of Banana, they know that Kerrigan is lurking around here. They know that they could probably just end this round, and they're going to leave Maniac behind. In case Kerrigan tries to push in mid, he's going to be in for a rude awakening. But at this point, Ven, I mean, this is a catastrophe for TSM. As far as they're concerned, they've given up way too much in this first half. I mean, how do you think they can fight their way out here in the last round? Do they need to go for some kind of push?
Well, they've initially been pushing down Banana, and that's been, well, you've had some luck with it, and it hasn't really failed TSM at any point. The problem has been later on in the round towards the A bomb site, so maybe we're going to have to see some more aggression, not just taking up aggressive positions when it comes to playing, you know, in bedroom, something like Cajun has done several times, but you actually have to go head-to-head with the Titan members before they set up for these executes. I think that might be the only reason. Maybe play more aggressively towards mid, flash through.
And you put your finger on it. As far as we're concerned, I think it's just like Titan having way too much space, way too much room to move with. TSM, they hang too far back on the site, and then when you give Kenny that space, he'll find you.
Yeah, exactly. And TSM struggled with this mightily versus NIP during the Katowice quarterfinals. Basically giving, on just two, they gave too much room for NIP to work with, and NIP just had their way with them. They can't allow very good executing teams to do that. And again, yeah, we're seeing the aggression come out from Banana again, and that doesn't really phase Titan at this point because they've realized that, well, we're not going to break that hold in Banana, so we're just getting, well, basically free space everywhere else on the map. So they've taken apps control, they've taken, you know, put pressure onto mid. And they're getting so much real estate just by doing that, just giving up that Banana control.
That's the one thing where it works against you, right?
Yeah.
If you take it, you take it round after round as well. It's almost like watching like old Glaive as well, right? Where it's like the Danish teams, you know, they just love taking over Banana. They love smoking out the bottom of it. And when it became part of the meta, you just saw that every single round. And now Titan have become, I mean, teams, but Titan in particular have become so good at just taking advantage of the space, as you say. So there's no pressure coming out from TSN. Again, they're just holding around these angles, holding on the site. This is so much room for Titan to work with. And this is the key to defeating Titan, essentially. You have to push them early. You have to make sure that they're off balance. If they have time to set up, they will wreck you. They will get 7 rounds and potentially 8 rounds on their T side, as we're seeing now. 25 seconds left in this round, however, so Titan are starting to run out of time. TSM have done a good job of running off the clock. Device just comes running out of library. He's going to take one, but it's a quick 1-for-1 trade. Dupree comes into it and takes out Apex on the other side, but there you have it. Maniac walks onto the site. This is just back and forth, and finally, TSM come out ahead. A 1v3 now. Kenny all by his lonesome, and only 5 seconds left. He's going to get caught by Device. And TSM are finally able to restore order in the last round of the first half.
Yeah, you know, somewhat save that first half, but we talked about it. You know, they're getting free real estate from TSM, and they were actually getting, you know, lots of room to work with. The fact is, you mentioned it, the fact that they actually chose to go towards that A bomb site with 25 seconds left. At that point, TSM has realized, well, nothing's going to happen towards Banana because they had Kerrigan all the way down in Banana the entire time. It makes it really easy for TSM to read what was going on. So unless Titan takes advantage of the fact that they've been given so much space to roam with, it's not really going to do them much good in the end because TSM will be able to stack up on towards that big bomb site. So that was a situation where Titan had the advantage, didn't really
make use of it.
Exactly.
And well, now we get to see exactly what TSM are capable of at the half here, you know, 15th round, and now we get to go into Titan's CT side. And so as far as TSM are concerned here, it seems like TSM need to go for the all-out aggression, I think. They need to go for the ultra-violence. Like we said on the CT side, you know, do not let Titan get comfortable. TSM, they need to do the same thing here on their T side. They need to take Titan by speed.
But TSM has shown that they've played, well, that they can play very good T-halves on Inferno. I mean, they even beat NIP 10-5 on their T side of Inferno, so they can definitely figure out how to play. And for Titan, they could be a team that actually are slow to pick up on what's going on from with their opponents and actually start lagging behind on their CT sides.
Well, Titan are going for their bread and butter right now, setting 3 up on B. This is to counter the early rush, and Apex in existence just shred TSM as they round the corner. Cajun B, however, does manage to return on Apex, but now there are another 3. The man rotates in from A site. Kenny and Maniac is closing in at the bottom of a banana. They are going to get sandwiched onto this site, TSM, unless they can just clear it up, create some space, and there you go. Cajun B and Sipnix picking up 2 kills. But once it's over, Cajun B is now alone. He's not on the bomb, and he's got to be worried about a crossfire here. The only way for him to win this at this point is to turn this into a 1v2, but he's not going to manage it. He walks right into the waiting arms of existence, and Titan pick up the pistol round going into the second half. This is now a catastrophe for TSM. This is a real problem.
Well, you say that, but they do have the opportunity
Tech 9s,
yeah,
right?
exactly. They can buy Tech 9s.
Yeah, and they are going to do that because, look, they don't get the bomb plant. Heartache on the Glocks. What does this mean? Tech 9 full armor and nades next round.
Yeah, I think we actually... it's going to be exciting to see whether or not we're going to see nades or Molotovs. I'm hoping for Molotovs.
I'm hoping for a combination thereof. Go towards the B site, use the mollies to clear out the back of B.
Exactly.
And just go from there. I mean, this has definitely got to be the play here for TSM. But they're just getting shut down. They aren't really achieving anything in this round. Dupree's just going to go running up short, but Kenny S is there waiting for him point blank, even with the Tech 9. I mean, that's adding insult to injury.
And now the moment of truth.
Do we see it happen?
There's one Tech 9. Oh, they're actually going to go with AKs as well.
They're going for a combination play here. Okay, what does Sipnix go for? He's got an AK as well. Okay. I like this, actually. Because you have the Tech 9s, you have that run and gun to clear up the sites early, but then you also have the AKs to back it up with more of that fragging power, right? Once you have some space to work with the AKs, you can kind of just plant down and start landing some headshots.
Yeah, and one of the big things for me is that I see Carrigan with the Tech 9, and Carrigan is always the first guy in for TSM whenever they push somewhere. So that tells me that he's going to create space, whether it actually picks up a frag or not doesn't really matter. He's just going to create havoc with that Tech 9. Just basically start shooting and never stopping.
Let's see already. Kenny just peeks out, and he actually rains destruction down onto Cajun B, but Sipnix is there with that AK to be able to pick him off in turn. And now Titan know what is happening. You can see from the style that Titan have chosen to approach this round as well. I mean, full rifles across the board for them. They must have realized that it was Glocks last round, so they were trying to just find the information and figure out exactly what TSM were about to throw at them here. So now they realize one of them's got an AK. It's not according to plan. So we have to worry a little bit about a rifle being on the map here. Not sure if they got confirmation that there's 2 of them. Of course, Device has an AK of his own, but Apex is going to peek out and pick off one of those AKs. Sipnix is now down, and TSM, they're getting whittled down here by Titan.
Yeah, but it seems like Titan are getting a bit ahead of themselves. We can see the rotation from RPK coming over towards the B bomb side here. And right now, Titan have spread a tiny bit thin. If Maniac gets caught out here...
Well, that's going to happen. Apex, however, is alive in Library. Do they decide to take this fight? They're looking to get control here, and he's not in Library. My mistake, he's in Pit, and he's just going to go ahead, plant, and take down both members of TSM on short. Just catches them out in the open as they try and make the run onto site. And Titan with the perfect call at the end, in fact, being able to double stack in that position.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it looked like Apex would be around that arch area when RPK rotated over, but he was actually quick enough to make it back into Pit. And I think if he doesn't make it back into Pit, then TSM will have a really good shot at actually planting the bomb and getting into decent afterplant positions, and that makes the round entirely different.
But again, TSM right now, they are really struggling with this scenario. Again, it's like that last round should be designed to go for like a very fast smoke take or a very fast, very fast kind of play. Yeah. Execution-based play, rush, whatever, but something that's quick that gets in Titan's face when they have few nades to stop it. They have FAMASs. Those things, the ammo is gone in the blink of an eye. I mean, you put the pressure on fast. And again, TSM, slow playing it. Really grinding things out, and Titan are just picking them off at will. Kenny's going to find another one. Maniac as well, and now it's just Kerrigan with the P250 trying to hunt down Kenny, but Kenny's had time now to set up, misses that shot. Kerrigan's got the bomb, but he's never going to plant it. Maniac is there to stop it, shatter his dreams, and Titan move on to an 11th round.
Titan right now are looking very, very solid, and well, this is a bit of a change for TSM. Device picking up, well, not necessarily from previous games, but this is the first time we're going to see Device pick up the orb on the T side. And, well, we kind of asked for a change coming out from TSM. Maybe not necessarily go away from the slow-paced style, but seeing something different, a different approach to how they're going to break down Titan, and orb might be the way to do that.
It could be, but then again, that also encourages slow play, right? Because you're counting on, like, I want TSM to go for speed, They need to go the distance. They need to go for speed.
But one of the things that they have been struggling with is the fact that they don't find any openings, really. In the rounds they do find an opening, that lasts for about half a second before Titan are there to trade.
And rotate off, yeah.
Yeah, so if Device is able to open up one of the bomb sites, mid, whatever you have it, really, that could potentially help TSM getting into a situation where they can execute properly as they like, and maybe that slow play still works out.
Let's see if they're going to get rewarded here. Titan, so far, it really was only Apex who was exposed there on short. He had support from Kenny as well with that AWP. As you can see, he's scoped up on Boiler now, looking towards mid, and he might be looking for that opportunity to take a quick little peek. He even commits to it even further. Unfortunately, the timing doesn't really work out, but then they line up 2 for 1. That couldn't have gone better, and he's there to pick up the third as well and plug that gap. Another man running through apartments. Kenny misses that shot, but he's going to get knocked at the follow-up. Cajun B hits the headshot. Apex is there to save the day. Could have swore that Kenny was going to pick off that man on balcony there at the end, though. That was uncharacteristic.
You do kind of get that feeling when Kenny starts up around like that. It's just Kenny-esque time.
But let's take a look again at the replay there, man. They 2 for 1 shot like that. That hurts for TSM.
It really does, and it really feels like this T half has pretty much been that way the entire time. Like things are not going TSM away.
And again, early control coming out on Banana from Titan. 3 guys there to start. Smoke, nades, the whole shebang. They're willing to throw their gear in there just to deny this portion of the map to TSM.
And the difference between what TSM are doing and Titan's approach to it is the fact that you don't see TSM trying to get into apartments early on when they know that Titan have committed X amount of people towards Banana. They don't feel that's necessary, and that's a bit of a stylistic change, I suppose, between the two teams.
They hold for the mid.
Yeah, but so far it hasn't really worked out for TSM at all.
Well, now it's like they've got Dupree up there in the apartments. He's in there solo. Sipnik should be rotating in to give him a helping hand as well. So they could potentially be setting up. But look at TSM, really. They're just content to sit and wait. Device planted at the bottom. Kenny, though, he's tired of waiting. Kenny, does he really step into this? He's going to look for the man in mid. He's going to look for the man in mid, and he walks right into Device.
And that's an opening on towards the B bomb side. And, well, if they can get past Existency, then TSM have lots of nades to work with for an afterplant.
Oh, there it is. Peekaboo. Existence is there. Changes up his position. And he walks into a bullet from Sipnix. Sipnix spraying blind. Gets lucky that time. And RPK, no better. Sipnix with the double kill to open up this B site. And now it's down to Apex. A little bit late for the spray through the smoke. TSM have made it onto that site, and they've succeeded in putting down that bomb. So now it comes down to whether Titan can catch somebody out of position early, but it does not look like it. At this point, there you go. Apex starts to give ground. They're going to back up and try and hold on to their guns. A 2-on-4 retake of B. The odds are pretty slim for Titan to actually pull that off.
Yeah, there's no real reason to go, because Titan are not in a pressured situation to grab rounds right away. TSM, on the other hand, they definitely need to get going, and Apex doing the smart thing here, just making it as costly as possible for TSM.
And Maniac as well potentially could have a little bit of luck here if TSM decide to peek. That's Dupree and Kerrigan waiting at the bottom of Banana. And Maniac, does he go hopping in? Yes, he does. He gets one. Nearly gets the second. But I think he's going to be happy with the result.
It's well worth it, well worth it. And you can see by TSM's buy right now, it's going to be, well, not the greatest in the world.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Cajun, is he sticking just with the P250? No, okay, he's got an AK. So they do manage to get AKs across the board and a reasonable number of nades, but then they have no bank to fall back on. Everything is spent for them. So that's the difficult position here for TSM. Again, Titan going for the banana control, just Molotovs to force TSM out from behind the pillars, out from behind the wood stack, just to create the space and get full control of this site. And now Titan, well...
This also gives Titan the option of, well, potentially putting Kenny in Banana just all to himself, really. He could just sit there, and if there's one man you want to hold off a site by himself, it's probably Kenny S, but in this case, it's actually going to be Existence. So that is a bit surprising, actually, to me, because they could put Kenny there as a bit of a turret in Banana and have him...
But that's always been Existence, right? Like, this is back to the days of when they first started doing that strat, and then it's like Pro 90, you know, just Pro 90 behind the smoke. Like, he would just sit there and just wait for days. So it does feel like Existence, he's like, this is my territory. Go play on the other side, guys. Go play on the other side.
I'll be fine, I'll be fine.
But with 4 guys stacked up on A right now, and TSM showing every indication of wanting to wind up on this site, this could turn into a bloodbath.
Yeah, and this is going to be a standard A execute coming up from TSM.
There it is to start. Titan once again with the entry frag. Catch Cajun B. Now the push-up short begins. Kenny already in position to hold this back. If the flashes come through, though, we'll see if he gets blinded. Maniac turns away in time, goes for a bit of the underhand grandma throw, and he's going to be able to pick up one. They line up for him, though, and he's not going to get the job done. Kenny, however, will not land a shot. And somehow this turned into a 2-on-3. TSM with 15 seconds left get control of the A site, and they get the bomb planted as well.
TSM not really having any nades left, so that could be an issue for them. But an AWP isn't the most efficient weapon to actually do a retake with, and you could see Existence already given up on the round. I think had they known that dupreeh was as low as he is, they might have gone for it, but still an awkward situation to be in. The rotation from Existence is late once the push comes in from TSM, and if Kenny isn't able to pick up that guy on balcony, then it makes everything all the much more harder.
I think that's the big surprise. I think Kenny got caught out of position because I think he was checking arch.
Yeah.
And so you had 3 guys coming up short for TSM with 1 guy in apartments, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, he's over there and he's having 0 impact, and when he can finally have it, he misses the shot. So, I mean, I think you can tell in my voice as well. I was like, he's about to do it again. He's going to land. Well, no,
well,
never mind.
It really looked like he actually
It looked like he was dead on, but okay then. You know, sometimes that happens.
Alu can relate.
Yeah, don't rub it in, man. Falu's listening to the cast. You know, he kind of just face palmed right there. All right, but
yeah. Then in any case, I mean, Titan do buy up again. Maniac only with a 5-7, but we saw in Cash that worked out perfectly well for him the last time around. And Kenny has taken up an aggressive positionary naps. This might be quite unexpected, even though he does get a nade straight to the face. I don't think they're necessarily going to know about this or realize.
No, and he misses the shot. Kenny showing some weakness here, very uncharacteristic of him. I mean, he is like the bastion, the stronghold for Titan. They need to be able to count on him to stand strong. And right now, Kenny just isn't quite getting it done. The rest of Titan, we're going to have to stand up, and Maniac pushes into apartments now, trying to get information to figure out where TSM are going to be coming from. Sipnix could potentially hit the timing on him, and he does. Sipnix gets the free kill on Maniac. That weakens the defense on A, and it looks like that's the signal to go, go, go for TSM. They're going to go crashing through, up short. dupreeh getting caught out of the open, but Apex gets caught. The headshot comes in on RPK, and just like that, TSM, I mean, that was perfection right there. From the kill onto Kenny, straight onto that site, everything went according to plan.
Yeah. But what's kind of funny is that the fact that TSM hasn't really changed anything about what they're doing. They're still slow playing it. This time around, they're just managing to catch Titan off in the right positions. And the fact that Titan are playing more aggressively in some parts of the map and actually giving away entry frags, TSM are able to work with that.
It seems like whichever team at that point gets the advantage, they're going to run with it.
Yeah.
And these teams are so even as well, so very close right now, I think, as far as their level is concerned. So the slightest weakness is going to tell in the game. And this is not going to be a hard eagle coming out of Titan. They decided to invest somewhat. A couple nades picked up, 5-7, P250s. But we have to see if they can do any damage here to TSM, who are currently just trying to take over mid. This time around, there's not going to be any resistance mounted by Titan and Banana. They're just going to give that up and just stack up on the site itself. So they're hoping for close quarters encounters, really. They want to put those P250s to use. Apex here in Boiler with the 5-7. He's going to go for the peek. Goes running out. Pre-fire, and he doesn't get the kill. Just barely. dupreeh holds on with 13 HP.
TSM just still taking it fairly calmly, moving up towards that B bomb side, and it's going to be quite a bit of a workload for Existence to hold them off.
Man, Existence not able to get it done either. KJB going to follow. RPK just goes charging through that smoke, imitating the team captain, essentially, because that's like practically the Existence move. But he's not going to be able to get it done. And once again, Titan find themselves on the outside of the site, the wrong side. Unfortunately for them, they're going to have to back off once again, and they decide to change things up. They're going to go hunting in Banana, it seems. See if they can't cut TSM off here. Make this a bit of a costly endeavor for them, because dupreeh is still low, Cajun as well. If they can catch one of these guys out, that would be pretty big.
Yeah, and it's not like they have that much of an investment to actually lose from this. And well, if they're able to box them in, Sipnix as well, yeah, they could easily die from the bomb here.
Or just get shot in the face. Maniac, man, with the fancy feet. He just keeps dancing, and it has nothing to do with the skin. Nothing to do with the skin. This is not pay to win. Oh, there you go, Cajun B. Manages to get the kill in the end. Revenge his fallen teammates, but that turned out to be fairly costly, actually. As far as Titan are concerned, not too big an investment on their part, and they still get TSM to spend, like, what, nearly $10,000 between the two of them, so not too shabby.
And not too shabby at all, and right now we're back to 12-12, and we talked about it in the first half. It wasn't really the best CT half we've seen from TSM, but the fact is, if Titan struggle to get going early on and not really figure out what TSM are doing, then they could easily lose traction of what they're doing, and TSM has slowly grinded their way back into this, and at this point out, it's really like which one of the two teams who are bad at closing games out are going to be,
able to
the
actually
least
do
worst
it. Right?
in this case.
I believe as soon as TSM get up to 14 rounds, then Titan will make this miraculous comeback into the half and pick up 2 rounds of their own. And then one of TSM come back into it. They battle fiercely and get that 15th round. And then
it's going to be 15-15, and we're going to go into overtime. Overtime is going to be 2-1, 2-1. Going to go into overtime number 2. Then it's going to be 3-0, 3-0.
I'm telling you, Ben, it's on its way, man. This is it.
Oh, we called 8 overtimes before we started the 8th, so
I think we can set a new land record for overtimes.
Oh, easily. Well, I mean, I think actually, parts of Titan actually have the old one, which was, what was that? I think there was a 34-31 game at Mad Catz Prague versus Navi.
Man.
The first CSGO LAN Navi went to. So that's a bit back in the day, but still.
That's a blast from the past.
Yeah, and I think that was like 7 or 8. Yeah, math is hard, but they literally just played an extra game in overtime and then some.
Talk about that marathon run, like that endurance. That's when your physical health really makes the difference if you're going to be playing at that level, because that is draining.
I actually think at the point when you're done with a game like that, you're not really disappointed about losing. You're just happy about being done.
Yeah, it's over. God. It's over. All right, now it's a short restroom break, actually, guys. So quick call there. TSM calling for a pause. So not the end of the world, no technical difficulties, none of that. This is just a short pause and kind of an improv timeout, essentially. So this is essentially just TSM using their timeout
to make sure that device is
on point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But then again, you have the philosophy sometimes. Some players actually believe that they'll drink like a bottle of water just so that they have to use the restroom, because when you have to use the restroom, they feel like you make better decisions. And apparently this has been backed up. This has been backed up. When you're sitting on a full bladder, all of a sudden, your focus is like super laser focus intense. So device, maybe that's actually the mistake.
Next level strategy. Yeah, this could actually be the downfall. Yeah,
this could cost them.
This could be the downfall of TSM.
All right, well, let's see if that's the case. Because once again, Titan going for the control play at top banana, making sure that TSM can't go for any kind of all-out rush straight up towards the B site. So once again, TSM just calmly waiting things out, holding on the outside of apartments. They don't know exactly where Kenny is with that AWP, so they don't want to go running right into him. But Sipmix is now starting to create a bit of a diversion over here. Dupree as well getting up into the apartments themselves. And so now TSM are getting to that point. Took them 30 seconds, 40 seconds to do it, but now they're getting to that point where they can start feeling things out and setting up to take a site.
And wouldn't be too surprised if we were actually going to see another A execute from TSM. It's been working out nicely as of late. And, well, they kept Titan honors by going towards B that last round. So right now you can see it, Titan's still holding with 2 people towards B. Just now we're going to see the rotation starting to come over towards the A-bomb site.
And Existence is in a bit of a tricky position at top banana as well. But look at this. This is actually going to be a B split, I think. They may try and wrap around through Arch, unless the bomb makes its way back down. Are they going to go into Library instead? They get caught on the side. Kerrigan tries to run through the doorway. Isn't going to make it. He has no idea where he is. Dupree's in Little Pit as well. And Kenny, this is just a quick 1-for-1 trade. Nobody knows what's happening. But then TSM come charging up short with the bomb. Sitrix, Dupree, everybody picking up frags, but Maniac alive in the pit. Tries to put a stop to it, and he will. Gets 2 kills and locks down Device onto this site. Now waiting for Existence to rotate in, but guess what? Dupree, I don't think they picked up on the fact that he's waiting in Library right now. Does Existence slow things down? Is he going to be able to check these angles, or will Dupree best him? And Dupree will find the headshot. It is now just down to Maniac, and they know exactly where he is. He's just tapped the bomb. Looking to see if he can't turn it into a 1v1, and he gets the first headshot on Dupree. Now it's down to Device, waiting on short. Maniac takes the fight and runs out of bullets. He runs out of bullets. 3 kills for Maniac. And that should have been a 4th by the looks of it. If he'd had like 2 more bullets, man, he would have won that.
And I could actually see that from a mile away. The second he gets that first kill, you're thinking to yourself like, reload, 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 reload. But obviously, it's impossible to have that thing, that going through your mind as you're in an intense situation like that. And this actually prompts a force buy from Titan. This is a massive investment. If they lose this one, this should be match point very shortly for TSM.
Exactly. It's going to force Titan to go for a force buy scenario again to keep them off of it, but that's only going to be pistols at best. I mean, it's looking pretty grim here for Titan. We have to see if they can regain control. But again, TSM pushing to top banana. Now they lie in wait. Titan go for the pop flash, and there you go. RPK can't quite pounce on it. He's going to get caught out of the open. He's so very low, and he gets overwhelmed in the end, but not before doing the damage. Kerrigan and KJB both fairly low here on the T side, so TSM, that was actually a bit of a fair exchange. Titan, it's even as far as the numbers are concerned, but TSM are softened up.
Yeah, and I like that for Titan. If they feel comfortable about leaving Existence alone towards B again, then this could turn out really well for Titan because, well, yeah, they're going to have equal manpower pretty much for most of the, or equal numbers in most situations. And yeah,
this is the tricky stuff right here.
This
just on the edge. Does he see it? Does Kerrigan spot this? Kerrigan, he might know. And he's not going to pull the trigger. He just walks right out into it. Existence, he's going to pick that up for free. That's actually a really big mistake made by Kerrigan. As soon as he gets an inkling, he should just be pre-firing that spot.
But I think that's something we saw being very popular.
Well, for the longest time, right? Top and exactly. If you see a smoke go, I mean, well, obviously there's car control smokes. Exactly, they did change the smokes, but already this has turned into a B take. Cajun B is going to find Apex, but they don't know that Existence is back here, do they? He's going to get the first one, tries to control the spray for the second. He's here with the USPS, 2 seconds left, and it is now impossible for Cajun B to win the round. Even if he is picking up the kills, Titan with a bit of a trap at top banana that TSM will walk into, and then just some solid play from Existence after that. They managed to win.
Yeah. Really was that, and RPK, as you said, softening them up so much that early, that actually came in to play a big part for them. But yeah, like I kind of want to try to play try to take the defense for Kerrigan in that situation, because
maybe I'm a bit harsh.
We haven't seen it in so long, and after we've seen various smoke changes.
Really?
Yeah, we've seen so many changes to how the smoke actually works.
But it feels like the cart smoke is actually like something you see a lot of. Like,
oh no, not anymore. That was something that both XLDLC, now Envy and Fnatic would use constantly, but you never see that nowadays. So rarely do you see that.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll let it slide this time.
Because you had one-way smokes at a certain point.
Well, yeah, of course you had one-way smokes, but that.
Obviously, you should have an inkling, because
when he comes out and he's pre-aiming that spot, that tells me that he's got an inkling, right?
Yeah,
if you got an inkling,
you have an inkling, yeah.
Just pull the damn trigger.
But the problem is, like, do you remember that angle from 2013?
I can pretty much 100% guarantee you that they know that smoke and they know that angle from Prac, man. Like, they must. Okay, whatever. Let's not get into that now, because this is now going to be a crucial round for both teams. 13-13 on the scoreboard. TSM are just trying to push onto this A site, and Apex doing the best that he can to stop them. He gets 2 kills, and he's still around. But as I say it, the pre clears him up, and Cajun B catches the 3rd man in. Kenny getting caught out in the open there. And now it's down to RPK and Existence having to rotate over from that B site, whereas TSM have now got time to set up the crossfire.
Yeah, and the huge issue here is the fact that, well, Titan, they have no nades at all. Cajun has a smoke and a Molotov, and he just deployed that smoke. Just going to buy them much more time, and that probably just prompts... Yeah, it actually prompts the save from Titan. They're just going to give up. And you can't really blame them. No kid as well. Yeah,
what can you do? Like, that's... When you have to rotate over, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but that has got to be nerve-wracking now for Titan.
Absolutely, and especially given how close that round was. Dupree picking up those 2 frags while getting dinked. Same thing for Cajun as well. That could have so easily gone in the favor. Maniac could have picked up that 1 frag, and the entire round is all of a sudden TSM playing from behind.
Looking a bit rosier for Titan, that's for sure. It's fairly even, actually, as far as the frags are concerned right now for TSM. Same thing could be said for Titan, except that RPK is lagging a bit behind. But RPK, then again, he's playing that rotator position. Never a really easy task. Real tough for him there.
Yeah.
So we're not going to throw him under the bus.
But yeah, Titan obviously not wanting to play overtime, so they're forcing up, and they have to win this round. If they don't win this round, we're going to see similar pistol buys coming out of them. And most likely what should be a TSM map 1.
This should be it. We're not going to, we're just going to see how things unfold.
Exactly.
We're just going to see how things unfold right now, because TSM are now sitting on 14 rounds. And they're about to dig their teeth into a 15th if Titan were to slip up here. Yeah. 2 rifles, 3 pistols. That's what Titan have got to work with. They still have a reasonable number of nades, however, so we have to see if TSM actually commit to the potential crossfire here, because Existence and RPK, they're playing it very aggressive right now. They want to see if TSM are going to fail to check the angles. And look at this, actually. It's going to be the counter rotation. The rotation early from Titan, but then they come right back to the A site. 45 seconds left, and TSM, they decide to change up the game plan.
Yeah, and Titan seems to be very aware of what's going on, because even RPK is leaving that B-bomb site now.
Oh, man, and you can see them just like sidestepping. Yeah. They don't know what's going on. RPK heads back to B. Apex kind of caught indecisively towards Arch, and this is going to be the short push once again. Sipnix comes up, takes out Maniac, and then you have the man himself, Kenny, with the double kill with the CZ up close, and he does manage to duck behind the box as well. Apex is not going to be able to save him, and there it is, the double entry for Sipnix and Device. But this is enough time now for TSM to get the plant. The damage has been done to them, however. They are all very low. Existence and RPK with a net advantage in that department. and they're working together here, working their way up short, both of them for Titan. So they're just looking to see if they can't get some trades in, but there's the man from balcony trying to draw attention to himself. Sipnix is now just going to play for time, and his teammate Device at the back of the site just doing the best that he can. He's going to line it up. He's going to get caught, and Sipnix now, it's all about peeking, but Existence, he's going to go for the Molotov. What a play, and they are going to save the day. RP, no, wait, they got it.
They got it.
RPK without a kit is going to be able to get the defuse, and Titan make it happen.
Yeah, I was starting to get like heart claps as the second Existence pulls out that Molotov. Because if he sits there with a cocked Molotov,
exactly,
and RPK dies, that's the round. That's it.
Well, RPK, that bomb, like, Sipnix's position clearly wasn't favorable, though, because look at where that bomb plant was, right? RPK was actually pretty covered.
And you know who's going to be really mad about that? Anders. Anders is going to be at home ripping his hair out because he hates seeing that corner plant and one of the remaining T's going into apps, because it makes no sense whatsoever.
What can you do? What can you do? I mean, the one thing, obviously, is that he kills off Existence.
Yeah.
And then is able to go leaping out, because then there was no kit. Yeah. That's why I thought that they had lost it. I didn't see a kit on RPK. I was like, are they going to have the time, right? Did he get on it early enough? But what a save there for Titan in the end. 14-14 now. 29th round, and there's enough money for TSM to buy. There's enough money for Titan to buy. And this just feels like it's neck and neck right now. It's so even between both of these teams.
I'm not quite sure how the economy is for both teams as of right now, but it could potentially be, well, here we go. Could potentially see the team losing this round being economically broken. Obviously, they're going to buy up with what they can, but it's going to, this round is so important for them. Because it could very easily be 2 rounds.
That's it.
One round could be worth 2 rounds.
Well, Titan have just won, and they just spent all their money here, so they're reset. Hard reset. Down to 1,400 if they lose it. TSM, same story. Although they'll get a little bit more for having lost 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can get a plant here, but Existence is going to be calling in, and they're just going to flash their way through this smoke. Existence in the corner. He gets picked immediately, but RPK is there to catch out Kerrigan through that smoke. RPK looking to see if he can't find an angle, but Sipnix catches Apex, and Sipnix is actually waiting for the rotation. He takes out Apex before he can even get in the fight. Man advantage situation now, and down to 1 HP. RPK so low. And it does look like he's going to be able to make it out of dodge. That smoke has not cleared yet, and they are just going to run for it now, Titan. The game is all about holding on to the guns now.
That's what they have to do. They have to reset, have Apex in Existence, buy up pistols for the next round and lots of nades, and hope for the best, really. So TSM are actually going to make it to match point.
And what a quick play there, just decisive from TSM. And this time the risk paid off, for them at least. Now they know where Maniac is lurking. Sipnix has been caught. With the pre-device engaging, they should just make it out of here with their lives, and they shouldn't be risking their guns. They don't want to give anything away for free either. It's not like they're flush with money either. So this is going to be, again, a buy round coming out from Titan, although there is going to be a CZ on Apex, it seems. So they have to skimp. They have to try and cut some corners here, it looks like. Whereas TSM, because of that bomb plant and that win, full buy for them. No problem at all. Advantage with TSM, and now let's see if Titan can weather the storm and take this to overtime.
Well, we called for it. We wanted to see overtime.
And look at how passively TSM have left that bomb way back in T-spawn. They're really taking their time with this. They get up second mid quick right outside of apartments, but there's nothing aggressive out of Titan, not even in Banana.
Yeah, and that's actually quite surprising because they've opted to go with 3 people towards the B bomb site, but they're not fighting for control. And if that's just to, well, more or less bait TSM to go in towards that B bomb site, that, like, it's hard to tell, but that could possibly be the idea that Titan have.
Basically, it's Existence laying the trap, and this time TSM, their nose caught the scent. They caught wind of something, and they don't bite.
And as they notice that, you have Apex rotating over towards that A bomb site. There's bombs still in Banana for TSM, and it seems like Kerrigan just wants to create some havoc towards that A bomb site. We might actually see the B split coming out once again from TSM.
Is it actually going to work? There's the smoke actually to block off Arch. So now Kenny has to go back into library, or at least he looks to try. He gets into small pit here, but he doesn't know. Kerrigan is creating some noise over on the apartments right now, but there you go. The Arch wrap straight through. RPK, does he pick up on it? Yes, he does. He gets the instant headshot onto Dupree. Big kill there. Existence lurking in the edge of the smoke as well. He gets caught, and there's RPK taken out as well. TSM have got control of the B site, and now they've got lurkers spread out as well. Kerrigan at the bottom of Banana. Sipnix is going to be able to set up in construction, and this is a nigh impossible situation for Titan to come back in, especially if Kerrigan is mowing down Apex. He's going to be able to take out the second man, but that is not going to happen. Maniac bests him, but it's still a man advantage hold here for TSM. And Kenny just goes running right through into pool. Device and Cajun, they have the crossfire set up on the B site. 1 in construction, 1 in oranges. And this is now going to be a question of who can land the shots. Titan, they've got a single Molotov. I think that just went out, but Maniac is gone. Kenny as well, and there you have it. TSM, they keep the streak alive and pick up the first map in this best of 3.
And that was just a really cool strat that they pulled off in that last round. You can see that they tried to sell it so hard, obviously with Carrigan and Apps there. And in addition to that, not just smoking off the arch area, they actually smoked off car and balcony as well, just to give Titan that impression that we're actually coming, and Carrigan making so much noise and keeping so many of the Titan members at bay towards that A side. That made it actually possible for TSM to work their way in towards B, even without RPK picking up that first guy coming in from connector.
And that's where I thought, RPK, what a shot. But the thing is that RPK can't know how many went through Arch. Kenny wasn't able to give him any information. He just hears like steps, but he may not be able to confirm. He's sitting in a little pit just on the outside.